Hey everybody, my name is Josh, and I study blood flow restriction training. And it's my goal with these videos is to make blood flow restriction training easy for you so that you can better understand it and that you can better apply it in practice. Okay, so with this first video, I just want to introduce what blood flow restriction training is, just give a general overview of it. Okay, now as the name implies, it involves some kind of training. And that usually is resistance training, which is just lifting weights. So blood flow restriction training would be lifting weights, so for example, a bicep curl, while restricting blood to that working muscle. Okay, while restricting blood to that bicep while it's lifting the weight. Okay, now usually what's restricting the blood is the application of some kind of blood flow restriction cuff, just like this one, that goes on the upper arm and that's inflated. Okay, and that while that cuff is being inflated, it's going to put pressure on the arm. It's going to put pressure on the blood vessels that are supplying my arm and supplying that muscle with blood. Okay, and it's going to decrease the amount of blood that can get into my arm, that can get into the muscle, that bicep, while it's doing its lifting. Okay, now you may be wondering, why would I ever do this? Well, it turns out that if you restrict blood flow to a working muscle, that working muscle only has to lift very, very light weights in order to cause a stimulus and cause changes in muscle strength and muscle size. Okay, so let me back up here. Let's say I have this is a 2-pound weight. And if I do 10 reps with this 2-pound weight, is it going to do anything? No, it's really not, right? It's not enough weight. It's not enough of a stimulus in my muscle to cause changes to increase muscle strength and muscle size, right? If I want to do that, if I want to increase how strong I am and how big that bicep is, I know I have to lift heavy weight. Okay, I have to stress that muscle. I have to, really cause a good stimulus in order to make changes in that muscle so that I can increase its size and increase its strength. Well, it turns out that if you restrict blood flow to that working muscle, all I have to do is lift this light weight. Because lifting that light weight while restricting blood flow into the working muscle is going to cause enough of a stimulus, is going to create these changes in the muscle so that I can increase muscle mass and strength over time. Okay, so that's what blood flow restriction training is. It's restricting blood flow to a working muscle. Okay, and what this allows you to do is only really have to lift light weights in order to cause enough of a stimulus to increase muscle strength and muscle size over time. Okay, now you may be wondering at this point, well, why would I do this? I know that if I lift heavy enough, I can do this same thing. Why do I need blood flow restriction? Well, I'd say if you can lift heavy weights, you really don't. But there's a lot of situations where people can't lift very heavy weights or shouldn't. Maybe you just had an injury. Maybe a person is frail and really shouldn't be lifting heavy weights. Well, that person still wants to increase muscle strength and size over time. Well, what can they do? Well, they can opt for light weights, combine it with blood flow restriction so that they can see changes over time as well. Okay, so that's what blood flow restriction training is. That's a general overview.